The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised. Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and AC/DC prepping for a new album. That and so much more will sonically resonate your senses in this hour of the John Lebang Show. Greetings, Earthlings, welcome, and salutations. I'm your host, John Lebang, joining you for yet another hour. We've turned off the main cam. I got out of my first hour clothes. I'm in something just a little bit warmer. I mean, we are living through the frozen tundra. I mean, it has completely winterized here in Michigan. We're facing freezing rains now, as if the almost 2 feet of snow that we've received the past week wasn't enough. Now we're getting a nice coating, a nice beautiful coating of frozen rain to add some glistening to that beautifully white snow that keeps accumulating in our front yards and our backyards, on the roof of our houses. The way it's going, I'm going to have icicles the size of Godzilla by the time this is done. I can't even get around to the parts of the house that have the big icicles to knock them down because it's just too deep to walk. I might step into some kind of frozen sinkhole and be lost for good. Although, not everything would be lost, I suppose. I saw footprints this morning when I went to just get a gander at the new snowfall that happened overnight. And I saw footprints in the snow, and it was gallivanting from my neighbor's yard through my front yard, right by my car again. We spoke about this last week, where there were footprints by my car last week. And then it followed the same track. It went into my other neighbor's yard, down to my third neighbor's yard, and then to my fourth neighbor's, where it then, since I am an investigator, and I wanted to know if this was some kind of polar bear walking through. I mean, it is like the North Pole right now. You couldn't tell the difference between the North Pole and Michigan right at this moment, except that at least the North Pole might have some penguins that we don't seem to have yet. But I thought we might have had a polar bear, but then I noticed it couldn't have been a polar bear because it was bipedal. So then I thought maybe the abominable snowman was walking around town, lost. I mean, it's easy to get lost this time of year when your landscape is all white. Everything is white. You can't tell. I mean, it's so high, you can't even tell where your house is anymore. You get stuck in your driveway, and that's walking. You need somebody to dig you out when you're walking, let alone driving. Forget it. So then I investigated, and the footprints, I mean, I don't know how big the abominable snowman is. The abominable snowman, though, has got to be bigger, being the word abominable is right there in their name. So I looked at the footprints, and they were, I don't know, they were a size, if it was a man's shoe, it was a size 8 or 9. Not very big. So maybe I thought, okay, maybe it's not the snowman. Maybe it's Jack Frost. Maybe he's running around. So I looked around. I couldn't find any clues to lead me to believe that it might be Jack Frost. So then I thought, I forgot. Last week, we had the CarSquach Creeper. the person, the animal, the rodent that went from house to house looking in people's cars. So I deduce, with all the evidence that I've gathered, no way is it the abominable snowman. Doesn't seem to be a polar bear because it's bipedal. I have a good feeling it's not Jack Frost, so it's got to be the CarSquach Creeper. So then I follow the footprints because I'm curious. I'm a very curious human being. And I follow, because I go down to the road, because I see it end in my third neighbor's yard again. So I go down to the road to get a gander. And there were footprints. And they were going the opposite way. So I was like, oh, well, let's follow them. Well, I went, 5, 6 houses down, and I was freezing. So then I decided to turn around and grab my car. The car hadn't been started in a couple days because there was no reason to go out into the polar vortex environment that we are currently facing. It was just better to stay in your house, stay warm. So I went and got my car, warmed it up, got myself properly dressed, and I went for a little skirmish. I drove out my driveway, drove as far as I knew. I walked, and since nobody's on the road at this time of day on a Sunday, in the middle of Blizzard Fest 2018, I got out of the car and I just followed the footsteps a little bit. Then I decided, you know what? I'm going to go down to the last known house on the block and then backtrack. And I was going to drive on the wrong side of the road. I was driving on the wrong side of the road a little bit. It was more like the center of the road, but nobody was coming. Trust me, I would have got out of the way. Cops would have came. I would have explained to them what I was doing. Probably got a ticket, but whatever. Better than calling them up because you're not going to get much of a response out of the cops. Did you have anything stolen? Yeah, probably my gloves, cops. I'm probably my gloves. Well, that's not a felony, so nothing we can really do about it. They don't want to come out in the snow. You think they want to investigate footprints in the snow in the middle of the winter death storm 2018 here? So I follow it to where I think it ends, and then I notice it ended way before that, so I backtrack a little bit. And ironically enough, the second from last house had the very footprints that happened to lead into the driveway. They had footprints leaving the driveway that happened to connect up with the footprints that went down the block, that carried through just about all my neighbors' houses. They would go up the driveway, down back into the road, and follow the shoulder of the road until they got to the neighbor directly next to me. And then because our houses are a little bit closer, they decided, because they're the CarSquach Creeper, just some rodent, they just walked across the snow, leaving a trail for everybody to see. This isn't little snow. They were probably up to their knees in snow because we're near 2 feet of snow in my front yard. And because of my awesome neighbor, who I had no idea he did this, but he came and snowblowed a path for me out of my driveway. It's higher than 2 feet. So that was a fun excursion. I think this is what I'm going to do. First thing, I'm going to talk to my neighbors and tell them I think I know where the CarSquach Creeper's coming from. It's nested down the road a little bit, somewhere near the last house on my road. It's hiding maybe in the backyard there, maybe in their garage. I don't know where this CarSquach Creeper comes from, this little rodent. But I have this wonderful, diabolical plan waiting for them. And if all goes well, there's going to be a YouTube video of it. So please stay tuned, because it's going to be a good time if we ever get a chance to spring this prank on the CarSquach Creeper. And then I have some show news that I should actually get to, some business here. Next week's second hour is going to be Bangerverse 6. So that's a good treat for all of you who enjoy the entire Bangerverse. You're going to hear a lot of stuff with Shady and iDork and Nerdi and Wilbert and Captain Rainbow. We haven't had a Bangerverse in a while, so this is going to allow you to catch up on that. We don't know what we're going to do in the first hour, but after that, we've just picked up a interview with the band Jackstan, who won the 2018 Banger Music Awards for the best music video of 2017. So they're going to be in the same week. Nothing Sounds Good is going to be on, and that'll be in the music hour. So that's going to be a packed music hour. We're talking 2 interviews. I don't think I've done that, and I know I haven't done it on the music hour, as some people like me to say, a companion story, so to speak. This is for all the stations, all the affiliates out there. If you're listening at this time, we've made some decisions, and we're planning. We don't know exactly when yet, but our delivery date for the week will be changing, because we want to give an opportunity to some stations who have some really great numbers a more recent broadcast. And some of the stations that numbers aren't that terrific we're going to get that. We're going to switch that up, and they're going to be getting the later, the more the least up to date version of the show. And for the listener who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, we being syndicated here, a specific broadcast which might come out, let's say, on a Saturday night at 8 p.m. originally. That broadcast is syndicated across 30-plus stations over the next 10 or 11 days. So some stations who, play the John Lebang Show are actually playing something that's almost a week behind, or is a week behind, the current show. And we're looking to adjust that, because some of those stations actually have the better numbers than some of the stations that are currently getting the show as an original broadcast or as a early on broadcast. So we're going to try to change that up a little bit. We're not losing any stations, dropping any stations. We're just making a delivery change, how and what day we're actually going to be sending out the shows for syndication, so that the stations that actually have some great numbers, they're not 5 days, 7 days, 9 days behind. And the stations that are lagging behind for whatever reason, until I can see those numbers get up, I don't have a justification to keep them as one of the early shows in the week sequence. And it's nothing bad on them. Just some stations are producing way better numbers, have a better promotional scheme. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it. And they're helping the John Lebang Show, and because of that, I want to help them even better. And if they're receiving or being able to broadcast more relevant material, it's not 10 days old, it's 2 days old or a day old, or maybe they're broadcasting the same night, then it's a win-win situation for them and the John Lebang Show. Unlike some of the stations we try to promote as best we can, and just some of the stations, and they've been around a little while, are not catching on, and we just can't justify putting a bunch of effort on them when there are other stations that are producing for us that really need to be focused on more. So Outside of that, most of the other stuff will be dealt with internally. How we're going to deliver that, when we're going to deliver that, when we're going to actually have new shows available. This is going to change our schedule here a little bit on the John Lebang Show. We're also, I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we've been talking about going to a 4th hour internally here. And we're trying to make that happen. And right now we're bouncing back and forth on a few things on how we can make that happen. We're to the point where the Bangerverse is so extensive, so vast, that we could run a 4th hour strictly on the Bangerverse. And we don't know if that's something that we want to take on yet, because we've had other ideas on what to have for a 4th hour. But you can tell the show's expanding because we're considering these stuff. Or we're considering this stuff. And we just want to make the right moves at this point. We've got to simplify things for myself in particular, because I'm carrying the bulk of the weight here on the show. Financial as well as, and I'll tell you folks, it's been tough money-wise lately. We have some small sponsors. We barely get donations, although we did get a donation the other day, and I want to thank the person who sent in the $10 donation. Every dollar is appreciated. We work very hard on the John Lebang Show. We're considering, we had this idea, because we need new equipment, folks. If we're going to continue this show and to produce it as well or better than we ever have, we need better equipment at this point. And the only way to get it is money. There's no other way to do it. Nobody's going to give it to us. But we may have some kind of fundraising idea that will include you at some point. Hopefully some kind of what Alex Jones, and I hate to actually use one of his ideas, but it was a decent idea if you ask me. He used to have these things called money bombs, and people would send him money to help take him to the next level. And now, I mean, Alex Jones is pretty much a mainstream news psychopath or something. Anyways, we got to take a quick break, folks. We're a little long. I blabbed on. When we come back, we're going to talk Black Panther, Marvel, and there's some AC/DC news. We might touch on some other subjects as well. So stay tuned.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listening there. Don't go anywhere. The John Lebang Show is going to be right back. Just ask the hillbilly.
That's right. Right after this.
What about me? Maybe next time.
Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-'70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled, and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now.
If you are elderly, disabled, receiving SSI or Medicaid, and you have a medical need or require assistance with daily housework, shopping, grooming, medication, you may qualify for housekeeping at no cost. Call now. VIP Home Healthcare, 248-579-3805. VIP Home Healthcare, there when you need them. That's 248-579-3805.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's a hell of a good time, isn't it? And I also forgot to mention in the first segment, because I was talking about the CarSquach Creeper so long, that in the fourth segment this hour, you're going to have another version of Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce. And this week's contestant is Sabrina Fala, artist, vocalist from Ottawa, Canada. She joined us for an interview in the music hour, and then we talked her into doing a episode of Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce. So stick around for that. Now we've got the big week coming up. Marvel's next big movie is on the horizon. We're facing Black Panther. Out in theaters this week. And it's highly anticipated. It's received, which I don't give these guys much credit, but a lot of people do. It's received like 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Although, let's not give Rotten Tomatoes too much credit because they have Last Jedi ranked very high, and The Last Jedi was a horrible movie. That being said, I didn't like Thor Ragnarok either, even though that was ranked very high. I'm hoping that Black Panther is a bit more serious of a movie. And I'm praying to the heavens in the Marvel Universe there that they do not make this a racially motivated movie, because I won't be able to stand it. I want to go into this movie to enjoy it. I want to expand and prep myself for the big Infinity War movie coming up. Because isn't that what Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther were supposed to do? They were supposed to set up the idea of the Avengers Infinity War movie. What we got in the Thor movie, and a lot of people like that movie for the visuals, had great visuals. But when you sit down and ask them about the story, how'd it go, what happened, it boils down to a couple little things that I won't spoil the movie because I know some of my listeners haven't watched it yet. But I'm hoping the Black Panther movie, which looks, Chadwick Boseman and the cast that is part of this movie seems to be, very talented. We'll make our judgments after the fact, after seeing the movie. There's a lot of people giving it high praise. We'll find out. But some of the big questions about this movie is, where's the Soul Stone? Is it going to be in this movie? And if it's going to be in this movie, how are they going to use it? How is it going to be placed, set up for the Infinity War? Because, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to use the Soul Stone as the center point of the movie. It's going to be there. It's going to be used as a small plot point to set up the bigger picture. Because if you've seen the Infinity War trailers, there's something going down huge in Wakanda. There is a battle going to be raging in Wakanda, and I can only imagine that it will be over the Soul Stone. But where are the stones at this point? Well, we got the Nova Corps. They've got the Power Stone. The Ether was last in the hands of the Collector. His facility there was completely destroyed, so we don't actually know what is going on with the Ether at this point. We know the Tesseract was last seen on Asgard, and it looks like Loki in the trailer is going to be holding it, which means that Loki probably grabbed it on the way out of Thor Ragnarok. I don't think that'll be a spoiler because we all knew that the Tesseract was in Asgard. And we know Thanos has to, at some point, collect the Tesseract. So then we have the Eye of Agamotto on Doctor Strange. That's the time gem. So that's 2 items on Earth. Then we have the Vision. Vision, right there in his head, has another gem. So that's 3 gems on Earth. There's going to be a lot of bad stuff going down in Infinity War. So they might not have the Soul Stone here. See, this might be all set up, and we don't know where the Soul Stone is residing at this moment. And a lot of people were speculating it was in Thor Ragnarok, but it wasn't there. Everybody thought it was in Heimdall. Maybe some other places, but I was certain because Heimdall could see everybody. Every soul out there that the soul gem was in him. And his eyes were the same color. If you hear that noise in the background, I'm sorry. They're plowing all over the place here because they're trying to keep us from being buried under 600 feet of snow. That's an exaggeration. It's only like 200 feet. But with Black Panther coming up, I think this is just to solidify the character. It's going to be a good movie. Probably, if I had to make a guess, they're going to try to keep it more like Captain America Winter Soldier than any other movie in the MCU. In other words, it's going to be like a political thriller versus a heist movie or versus a straight-up big fight movie. And this will be the first time that we've seen some kind of royalty being portrayed in the MCU. So we're going to have that element as well. But I don't know, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Black Panther movie? Are you going to go see it? I know we're getting together with, there's 7 of us going that first night. We're going to go see it, and I will do a review, probably with the guys. I will do a review of the movie and let you know what I think. Because I'm going to be coming from the standpoint of I want a good movie. The visuals are okay, but if the bad jokes are there, it's going to hurt the movie. Just like it hurt the movie in Star Wars, The Last Jedi. You can't throw joke after joke after joke that is inappropriate for the scene. And that's what I'm hoping to avoid. But the last 2 major Disney movies have featured that kind of humor. But again, this one looks more serious. This one looks like it has some kind of repercussions within Wakanda, but I don't think overall it's going to make much of an impact on the world stage of the MCU. In other words, unless they find out that Captain America and the Winter Soldier have been fugitives and they're hiding in there, the Wakandans are protecting them, then that could turn into some major thing. But it doesn't, according to the trailers, it doesn't look like it's going to be the world against Wakanda. It looks like it's going to be some kind of internal struggle for power for the throne of Wakanda. That's how I see it from the trailers, but they trick us in the trailers all the time. So that's my thoughts on the Black Panther. I'm excited. I'm hoping for a good movie. It's been, we had Spider-Man, which, in its own right, it had very good young humor involved in it, and it was very comical. But that's the character of Spider-Man. I didn't like Thor Ragnarok. I personally did not like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I wasn't a fan of the entire franchise of Guardians. This Black Panther movie, I've been looking forward to it ever since Civil War came out, and I saw Black Panther. To me, he stole the show. Black Panther was great. Right away, he was one of my favorite characters. Didn't take him long. He has the body armor is so cool looking. His voice is cool. Everything about the Black Panther is awesome. He's not overpowered. That's another thing I have a problem with some characters, is that they're so overpowered that it just becomes stupid. I don't know if they had to upgrade Thor's power just to fight Thanos. To me, that was maybe the best visually creative movie they had in the Thor franchise. The story was so poor They wasted Cate Blanchett. They kill Odin. And I better not. Let's just say I would have done Odin entirely different. Odin would have been a major piece of this versus the way they portrayed him in this movie or in the Thor Ragnarok movie. Anyways, folks, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of this, we're going to talk Avengers Infinity War. And there's been a lot of talk out there. Who's going to die in the upcoming Infinity War? We're going to switch that question around. But to find out how we're going to switch it, you're going to have to stay tuned. Be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listening there. Don't go anywhere. The John Lebang Show is going to be right back. Just ask the hillbilly.
That's right. Right after this.
What about me? Maybe next time.
CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Their billers and managers are all dedicated to working for you to increase your profits. For more information, call CRRM at 248-579-3805. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning. For a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear, call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As promoted in the previous segment, we are going to talk about the brand new Marvel Avengers Infinity War that is going to be coming out on May 4th, 2018. We've brought in all of our friends to join us on this conversation. We've got Shady here on my left.
Hey, what's up?
And next to him is Wilbert.
How y'all doing?
Over by him, we've got Nerdi.
Hi, how you doing?
Then next to him is Abu.
Oh, hello.
And right to my right, we've got Leroy.
Hi. And what about me?
And of course, our Androbot, iDork. So my thoughts in bringing everybody in, and we're also going to be opening up the phone lines to you, the listener, so you can chime in as well. And if you can't call in, you can feel free to get in that chat room and leave us your comments on Avengers Infinity War. One of the biggest subjects that has come up with this Infinity War is the fact that there most likely is going to be some deaths involved to some primary Avengers. That would be either Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, maybe even Hawkeye. And people are speculating on who it might be. We also saw in the first trailer, Vision is down and Corvus Glaive is attempting to remove or turn on or do something with the gem in Vision's forehead. So there's a lot of speculation on if he's going to make it. And so the topic of discussion, and we want you to join in, of course, is one, who do you think, and we only want you to name one, who is the most likely Avenger to die? And two, we want to know who you think should die in the upcoming Infinity War. Because that's a question that is not being asked on the interwebs. When you go to the YouTube channels that cover the Marvel universe and they're talking about the Infinity War movie coming up, they're always discussing who might die, who is it possibly going to die. But no one is discussing who they really truly want to die. Maybe it's some irrelevant character. Maybe it's somebody who's past their prime and can no longer be an effective part of the Avengers or the MCU. Let us know your comments in the chat room or call in. Wilbert, let's start with you. Who do you think's going to die in Infinity War, and who would you kill?
Well, if you ask me, I think they're going to kill one of the primary Avengers. Sorry to say, but I think Captain America is going to be killed off.
They better not kill Captain America. I love the Captain.
Yeah, but they got other guys to take on the mantle of Captain America, and Chris Evans is at the end of his contract.
Now the big question is, who would you kill?
Well, if it was up to me, I'd kill off that game master.
Really, Jeff Goldblum? You'd kill his character off, huh?
If you like Jeff Goldblum, that's fine. But Jeff Goldblum plays Jeff Goldblum in every movie. And since I already saw Jurassic Park and Independence Day, I didn't find anything interesting.
Your guys' thoughts on that?
Everything about that movie was stupid. Can they just kill that whole movie?
Well, they kind of did at the end.
As Guardians. Whatever.
I think they should just kill off Pepper Potts so we don't have to ever deal with that woman again.
Okay, well, Nerd Eye, why don't you go next?
How come he goes next? I'm sitting next to you.
Well, I wanted to save you, Shady, because I'm sure you've got something really good, and we need some kind of climax here, okay?
All right, since you put it that way.
Nerd Eye, who do you think's going to die in Infinity War?
Well, I bet you Hawkeye's family's gonna die.
Really, Hawkeye's family, huh?
Oh, that would be terrible. Yeah, his wife was kind of hot.
Yeah, they need to give Hawkeye some kind of overarching story.
You guys' thoughts?
Yeah, it's a good possibility he's a goner too.
Well, at least save his wife. She's hot.
Okay, now the real question, Nerd Eye, is who would you kill off?
I have to think about that one.
Well, don't think too long. We don't have all night.
I'd probably kill off Nick Fury.
I don't think he's confirmed for the movie.
And would he really ever die?
What do you mean by that, Shady?
Well, after Captain America Winter Soldier, he died and came back in that same movie.
So that means he can never die?
According to Marvel.
Okay, Abu, you're next. Who do you think's going to die in Infinity War?
Well, I hope nobody dies. That would make me very, very sad. Yeah, but you gotta pick one. But I don't know which one to pick. My God, we're on radio right now. Make up your mind about something. Okay. Let's see. The one that's going to die, that would be Eric Selvig. He will die.
Is he in the movie?
I don't know. Do you know?
No, I don't know if he's in the movie. Do you know?
No, I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know either.
Now, Abu, who would you pick to die?
Oh, if I had to pick one to die, that would be Loki. He's a bad guy.
Well, there is talk that Loki's time is coming to an end.
Yeah, but if they kill him off, they're killing off one of the best evil villains.
Well, what do you mean by one of their best?
Well, he's better than Ultron, and he's better than the Red Skull, and he's better than that little guy that shrunk down and fought Ant-Man. I don't remember his name at all.
I think it was Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, I got stung by one of those once.
Well, what'd you think about the Vulture?
Well, that's the other good bad guy they had. Remember that Zemo guy? He was an idiot.
Robert Redford played a good part, and Bucky Barnes technically was a bad guy in Winter Soldier.
Well, I still think it's stupid to kill off Loki. Outside of the last Thor movie, he's been great.
All right, Leroy, your turn. Who do you think's going to die in Infinity War? We're probably going to lose Iron Man.
I really hope not. I love that guy.
And despite all the talk that this is the end, I have a feeling that Robert Downey Jr. is going to have small roles throughout the MCU.
I just can't see them killing that cash cow.
It sure would be brave, though.
What do you mean brave?
Killing off their number one guy.
Yeah, but is he really the number one guy? I actually believe Captain America is more important than Iron Man.
Captain America ain't doing nothing without Tony Stark's money, John.
I have to agree with Shady.
Yes, me too.
But in my opinion, Captain America has the best franchise of them all.
Guess it's hard to argue with that, isn't it?
No, I won an argument. Leroy, now who would you kill off? Well, that's even harder.
Just pick one, Leroy. You're going to be wrong anyways.
If I had to kill one, it might be the Hulk.
Kill the Hulk? Why do you want to kill the Hulk?
Well, he doesn't have any solo movies, Uncle Shady.
Not to mention he is OP.
It's not OP, it's BO.
What do you mean, Shady?
Butt odor.
Okay, Shady, so I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to go next, or do you want to wait till after I tell you?
Listen here, I'll give the best one yet, so you go first.
Oh, that's gracious of you, Shady.
Yeah, but it lets me finish my beer anyways.
If you ask me personally who's going to die in the Infinity War movie, and I only had to pick one, I think Drax is going to bite the dust.
Let's hope so. Oh, I like him. He's all blue.
He does have bloodlust for Thanos. Chances are, if he sees him, he's going to try to take him out.
Yeah, and Thanos is going to wipe the floor with him. It's going to be beautiful. All right, John, now who would you kill?
Thor. I'd wipe him out. After the last movie, kill them all. Kill them all, get rid of them. Don't even want them in there anymore, just get rid of them. If they're going to portray Thor as a childish man god, then I just don't want to deal with it. Then I would rather he die in some kind of blaze of glory than to carry on with more Thor movies that will be completely worthless Disney pieces of junk.
Well said, John. You got anything to add to that, hillbilly?
No, I don't got anything.
Okay, Shady, you're up next. Who do you think's going to be killed in the Infinity War?
Well, if you ask me, I think they're going to kill off Korg because he's just like a one-movie shot.
Really? I didn't expect some minor character like that.
He's only in there for you to like him in one movie if you liked him.
No, I didn't really like him at all. I think they blew his character.
Yeah, but some people like that little childish talk.
I can see him dying.
Now the big question is, who would you kill?
Well, that's simple, John. The guy you said is gonna die. Drax the Destroyer. He's the worst character of all the Marvel characters. He's pretty much useless. And I'm hoping that he sees Thanos at the beginning of the movie. He runs at him and Thanos whips his sorry behind.
Where do you think that's going to happen?
Probably on the Nova Corps, John.
Yeah, but they could be deceiving us in the trailers.
I have to say, I hate when they do that. That's like false advertising.
Okay, with that being said, we're going to head out to the phones and let us know your opinion on who you think is going to die in Avengers Infinity War and who you would like to see die. Our first call comes in from Chicago. Peppa, you're on.
Oh, babies, I think they gonna kill Captain America, babies.
They better not.
Well, it seems like a possibility, Shady. Now, who would you kill?
Oh, honeys, I would kill that Black Widows. She be an ugly hoe.
Okay, thanks for your call.
If the Black Widow's ugly, you're some kind of hybrid mutant between an ostrich and a hippopotamus.
Okay, our next call is coming in from Ottawa, Canada. Gordy, what say you?
Yeah, I'm going to see the movie, eh?
Okay, and who do you think's going to die in the movie?
Oh, it's going to be Vision, eh? He's going to have the stone taken out of his head, eh? And he's going to die, eh?
All right, and who would you kill?
Kill Spider-Man, eh? He's a little whiny kid, eh?
I like Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, thanks for your call. Heading out to Washington, D.C., Donald, who is going to die in the Infinity War movie?
I got the big league news. Person who's gonna die is all of them, John. Thanos is gonna kill them all, John. It's gonna be huge.
All of them. That's tragic.
You ain't kidding. There'll be no more movies.
Then what'll happen, Uncle Shady?
Leroy, we would have to watch Star Wars again.
Okay, here, Donald. Here's the big question. Who would you kill off?
That's simple, John. I'd kill them all. Make it huge.
Is that the only word he knows?
Okay, thanks for your call. All right, folks, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of this, a little more news, and then celebrity drop it like a deuce.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listening there. Don't go anywhere. The John Lebang Show's going to be right back. Just ask the hillbilly.
That's right. Right after this.
What about me? Maybe next time.
Fans, do you need a video for your brand new song but don't have a lot of money? Then contact John Lebang. His reasonable rates, professional look, and fast turnarounds will help get that song off the ground. Contact him at jlebang.com.
Powerful, epic music by Toothbox Row. Life-changing lyrics come in every style, empowering humanity to finally unlock the chains of bondage. Experience the edgy side of positive music and rock your world today. From Primal to Divine, available now at sassyalternativemusic.com.
Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning. For a beautiful, sparkling shine that's crystal clear, call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
If you want to contact the John Lebang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John Lebang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John Lebang Show. Banger. Now here's John.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are finalizing this week of broadcasting specialties here. We want to talk about one last thing before we get to our celebrity drop it like a deuce segment. Apparently, the news is coming out, and this is terrifying to myself, but looks like it's going to happen, and that's Angus Young has decided that AC/DC will continue with Axl Rose as lead vocalist. They're going to hire a bunch of musicians or something. Guess it's still undetermined. And they're going to record a new album and go on tour right after the Guns N' Roses tour finishes, apparently. And they're going to call it AC/DC, even though Angus Young is the only member left in the band. It's going to be entirely different music. I don't even think, is Angus going to write all the music himself? Or is it going to be a band thing? This bothers me as a die-hard AC/DC fan. Because I don't want to see this band become a brand name. It's like Star Wars. It's a brand name now. It's not the special, beautiful thing that we once loved. Now it's just a brand name. And so is AC/DC. A freaking brand name. It's not a collection of songs written by a group of 5 or 6 or 7 guys over a period of time. Now it's about the brand name, AC/DC. Doesn't matter that the vocalist won't be the same vocalist that has been there since the 80s. Doesn't matter that it will be the official 3rd vocalist. Black Sabbath tried that. Angus, why don't you call Tony Iommi and see how that worked out? Doesn't matter that the rhythm guitar player, no matter who it is, whether it be Stevie Young or somebody of more popular celebrity status or less popularity, we don't know. But whoever it is, it's not going to be the original guy there. Whoever the bass player is not the guy that's been there since the 70s. So he's the new guy. Whoever the drummer is going to be, maybe it's Chris Slade. We don't know. Do you want to keep Chris Slade, or do you really want to go, if you're revamping the whole thing, why not go get a superstar drummer? Somebody that's going to be super popular and make AC/DC the all-star band. Instead of calling it AC/DC, call it AC/DC's all-star band. How's that? And you just play all AC/DC. Angus DC's all-star band. Ringo Starr does it. Just have the all-star band. But we're going to have an entire album now. Who knows when it's going to come out? When the recording is going to happen. We got to wait till after the Guns N' Roses tour is over. And I'm disgusted with it. I don't want a fake AC/DC. It's like when they tried to change Coke and it wasn't the same. Guess what? They went back to Coke. Well, you can't go back to AC/DC because the pieces are no longer there. And I understand, and I've said this a dozen times. Angus, all you have to do is call the band Angus DC, some other name. Bring in the all-star lineup you want. You want Axl Rose singing? That is fine. Bring in whoever you want. Do an album. Continue to play rock and roll. We will love it. Just do not do it under the banner of AC/DC. You will be tarnishing a legacy. It will no longer be this special thing. It will be a brand name of piece of merchandise history. Not a group of songs that will remain timeless. It will be Nike, Burger King, Star Wars. See, I fear this same thing will happen with Disney eventually. They're going to take Marvel and ruin it eventually. We don't know when. The right people seem to still be in charge over there. But with so many people who have passed in Angus's life, Malcolm and his other brother, people that had kept him on the straight and narrow all these years, Now he's making decisions based solely on money, brand name. Because if it wasn't about that, if it wasn't about money, he wouldn't do it under the banner of AC/DC and sell it as AC/DC. He could do it as something else. And I believe deeply in my heart that people would still go see Angus in his own band, Angus DC, Electrified Angus, whatever you want to call it. I'm giving you great names. We would still go see you. We would love to watch the AC/DC songs that you play, and then we would love to see you playing with your all-star band. But that's not going to happen. It's going to be called AC/DC. And we're going to be fed a plate of non-AC/DC, AC/DC. Practically a tribute band with, by chance, the actual lead guitar player from the original act. I mean, Angus, I'll start an AC/DC tribute band if you want. And you can play lead for me. You want to call it AC/DC? That'd be... I'll tell you. I'll do it. I play a lot like Malcolm, too, Angus. I'm pleading with you if you want to do it this way. If you want to keep going. Just call it tribute. DC tribute. How's that? I hate being so negative about my favorite band of all time. But I can't believe this is what is happening. This was not a band that worried about these sort of things. It was a band, not a brand name. But no longer. Everything is a brand name. And will Angus do what George Lucas did and one day sign his rights away to the name AC/DC to someone else so they can put together an AC/DC band without any of the members? Because you're only switching out one guy then. Anyways, folks, that's my take. Slayer is also on tour this summer. Got a lot of great bands with them, so check them out. Up next, we have Celebrity Drop It Like a Deuce.
If you want to win a prize, drop it like a deuce. Are you sure this is a good idea? If you want to have a good time, drop it like a deuce.
I have a bad feeling about this.
No need to sterilize. Drop it like a deuce.
Oh no.
Drop it like a deuce. Drop it like a deuce. Drop it like a deuce.
Okay.
Bon Jovi or Green Day?
You're kidding me? Oh my god, I love Bon Jovi, but I have to go with Green Day.
All right. Labatt's or Molson?
That's supposed to be a beer?
Yes. Obviously, you don't drink beer.
No, obviously the only one I know is Molson, so I'm going to go with Molson.
Okay. Electric or acoustic?
Ooh, I would have to go with acoustic because I play it the most right now.
Yeah, and you had a couple acoustic type songs on your EP, correct?
Yeah, but when I'm live, I play more acoustic, so I have to say acoustic for now.
Okay, ice cream or ice hockey?
Ice cream. I like hockey, but who cannot say no to ice cream?
Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics?
Oh, I would say Winter Olympics because of it's more interesting.
All right.
No.
We've got 5 questions for you. Favorite city in Canada?
Ottawa.
Your go-to winter beverage?
Winter beverage. Hot chocolate.
Tasty. Love hot chocolate. You can never go wrong with that.
I can have it in the hottest day of the year, too.
Most memorable moment in music?
to a Green Day concert and Billy looked at me in my eyes and sat right in front of me and sang to me.
That's a good one.
Green Day. Yeah, I was just lucky. I was holding a poster and he saw it. He came up to me. He didn't hold my hand, but he sat there on his knees, sang some of the lyrics of a song. Can't remember. I think it was She off his DEUCE album. And I was crying so hard and people thought I was having like a problem. And I'm like, it's Billy, guys. It's Billy. I'm not dying here. That's probably the most memorable moment because he was right in front of me.
Awesome. Most underrated musical artist.
Oh, I don't know what you mean.
Not overrated, underrated.
Meaning?
I mean, they should get more recognition than they do.
Oh. I think Headley.
Headley. Okay, that's a good answer.
They're on tour, but I noticed that they only tour Canada, from what I see. I think they're a very good band. I think they need to have more push. I think they can be bigger than what they are. They're big, but I think they can be bigger, like how big Simple Plan is. I think they can be as big as them.
Well, you just told more people about it because they're listening to the show, so maybe that'll help them along.
Go hear Headley. They're on tour. They're amazing. Their new album rocks.
Okay, and last question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you were an Olympic sport, what would you be?
Okay. Olympic sport. Would race car driving be a part of it?
I don't think so. I'm not sure they have NASCAR in the Olympics.
Okay. Olympic sport. Maybe snowboarding.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll take that up after you get tired of DJing.
Yeah. I drive, so I'm always going fast. Oops. Are there any cops listening?
No, they don't care.
No.
They love you here, so.
No. I'm not going that fast to cause an accident. I just like hearing the zoom and the engine in the car while I'm driving. I like to hear the car moving, you know? When the car's going so slow in traffic, I'm like, this is boring. I want to drive the car when I'm driving the car. You know what I mean? I want the cars to get out of my way so I can cruise, you know?
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another 60 minutes of The John Lebang Show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. It's been a good week of broadcasting. We had a little fun all the way around. Don't forget to go to my website. That's www.jlebang.com. Thanks to all my affiliate stations and you, the listener, for tuning in like I just said. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, causing what we know here as chronic brain cell rejuvenation. This is John Lebang, signing off from the Banger Studios.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.
Resistance is futile.